Blitzers, hey, it's Ronan. Welcome back to the channel. Doing a quick video today because there's an interesting offer up. There is the M-IV-Y, which is a Tier 8 heavy auto-loading tank. Wargaming has actually created a little scheme, which is not surprising to those of you who play the game regularly, where you get to pick each one of these things. You get 11 options here, including the tank. And you get to gamble your life away. Essentially, every try you get, it costs more money, but the other things are eliminated. The other items are eliminated. So all in all, per Wargaming, you get 18,705 gold to get everything that you see on the screen here, including the camo, the tank, the useless coins for me, the useless boosters, the so on and so forth, the very useless XP. So the question is just really, do you want the M4? It's an interesting way to get there. I give it to Wargaming. They are getting down on their gambling and making it more addictive. So I actually don't remember the M4. I'm not a huge autoloader fan, so actually I'm a good person to do this review. Let's compare it to some of the other autoloaders in Tier 8 and see if they are worth it. The T77, which I actually do not have, is a great comparator, as is some of the other really good tanks in the tier, like the M-IV-1951. That's probably good. Let me see if there's anything else worth comparing it to right now. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I love in Tier 8 in terms of autoloaders, so let's stick with those. And I will admit, the Emil, I'll compare it to the M-IV-1951, although you can compare it to the M-IV-1, which is a great autoloader. When you do that, the one key difference is there are 4 shells in the on the M-IV-Y, which is great. You can see that the DPM is higher. The regular pen for AP is lower, but acceptable. There, it does shoot APCR, and the pen is 265. That's pretty good. And HE pen is about the same, so not much to talk about there. Rate of fire, you can see, is 7, but the reload is 13.3. A little bit worse than the other two autoloaders, quite a bit worse than the T77. But you do have 4 shells. It's going to take you some time to get all 4 of those shells out. So I think that is something worth thinking through. The burst of 7 seconds is really, really long. That is a different type of tank. Shell velocity is fine, not great. Aim time is okay, a little bit better than the Emil. The dispersion is a little worse. Again, nothing massive here that I see. Depression, that 1951 and the T77 have -10. This is -8. Speed looks okay. Yep, engine power is good, and power to weight's a little bit better actually than the Emil, a little bit lower than the T77. It does have the, Oops is right next to me, and he's pointing out that it does have the emergency track system like the M5 and M6Ys in Tier 9 and 10 for those of you who play those tanks. So, that's key. That's actually quite useful, so you can't break the tracks completely. Hit points 100 higher. I will take that. That is actually a nice little pickup. And I'll take a look at the armor in a moment. The turret armor there on paper looks really good. In fact, the armor in general looks good. The win rates look fine. So we got ourselves an interesting tank thus far. I'll take a quick look here at the tank and see what we see in terms of armor. And by the way, for those of you, this is nothing shocking. This is kind of how I evaluate tanks. Nothing too exciting. I will tell you, this thing is strange looking. It's rather tall, and that is it. So lower plate's garbage, but you're going to get lower plated all day long. Upper plate's strong. We said it has -8. With some incline, that upper plate's going to be hard to, if not impossible, for any Tier 8 to pen. I like the cheeks. I like the frontal armor, 300 values. That is a hitbox right above the gun. 230 though, it's still a pretty, that's Pramo from a heavy, and it's going to take some accuracy to nail that. That's not going to get penned. So I will say the overall, it looks good, except of course it's got a tumor, reminiscent of the Chieftain 95. It's 100 and and it's a pretty big tumor. It's, you know, and it's like this whole section here, right? These ears or whatever they are, the exhaust pipes, or I'm not sure what that is, are also look like they are possibly hittable. So I'd say the armor looks troll to me. Sides are nothing special. Side turret is okay. Yeah. So armor looks better than I expected. I'm a little bit surprised that they're saying it's better than the Emil, but the Emil 1951 really isn't as great as some people think. You know, it has very soft lower plate, a pennable upper plate. If you're -10, of course, that's a whole different experience. And then you look at this, it's got a huge upper plate and very, very pennable. So I would say it's better armor than the Emil 1951, which is not a reliable. In fact, I mean, the Emil is quite a bit better than the Emil 1951 because of this section here, and then the slopes there. So, you know, ultimately, actually, you find the Emil to be much more reliable in terms of armor than the 1951. And then finally, the T77 is very pennable, but you know, T77 is very reminiscent of the T57. You know, you got a huge lower plate and then kind of troll. So overall, it looks doable. Let's see how we do here in buying the tank. I guess that's the whole purpose. So draw one is for 30 gold. If I get the tank, I'll probably stop. So let's hope for that. And you see it does a little animation. And I got still quite a long animation. Of course, I get nothing. More than likely, it's rigged. That was the 30 gold. This is the 75. Knowing Wargaming, I will get this tank right at the end. I got the Naval Maneuvers animated avatar. That is less useful to me than anything on here. I do not care about an avatar. 30,000 gold. I mean, the bigger problem I have with Wargaming, this is the 750 gold box, is none of their gambling is regulated. Like, you know, if you go to Las Vegas or something to actually gamble, you know, there is like the Nevada Gaming Commission, and they actually regulate that things like this actually have to be random. They actually have some protocols to ensure random. Wargaming can do whatever they want. Nobody regulates them. They're based in somewhere in Eastern Europe or Cyprus or something, and there is no one looking at them. So this is completely rigged. More than likely, all of us are going to get the tank last. We're at the 2,000 container now. As you noticed, I've cleared out all the useless stuff, and I'll get there we go. I mean, so it's the way I'd look at this, and that's the way I looked at this before, is you're paying 18,000 gold for the tank and these boosters, which is probably they're going to then not give me the camo either, because then, oh, they gave me the camo first, so, you know, you can't back out at this point. This is the 5,000 gold box, and now they'll probably give me the propeller thing, whatever that thing is up there. Yep, there you go, the whirlybird. And lastly, the tank. You know, ultimately, like I knew with Wargaming, this is another one of their scams. It's an interesting way to get the tank. However, I'm sorry to say at Wargaming, you guys are a bunch of thieves. And that is just the way you roll. And I would rather they just sell the stupid thing and pretend like it's 18,000 gold. Oops, we will join you quickly in your room to see what this thing can do. I guess I may as well put the whirlybird attachment on there since I got it with the dumb thing. And where's my camo? Oh, I gotta, yeah, Oops is pointing it out to me. I gotta enable it or something here. Use affirmative, and then, yeah, all right. So it's got an okay camo, whatever. Makes it look rather interesting. All right, we'll provision it up real quick. These look straightforward. No special supplies here. Actually, I always run this that way. In terms of the one thing I don't know is if I'm going to supercharge this thing, but I'll take a look at the gun and decide. Obviously, you're not going to run vents. Vents are useless. Reminder. This one is kind of tough. I think I'm probably going to use enhanced gun laying, but I am not 100% sure. And the dispersion on this thing is not great. The only thing I got to decide between is supercharge or enhanced gun laying. I'll start with enhanced gun laying and see how the aim time feels. And I got to do that annoying thing. And all right, Oops, let's go. And let's see. Oh, Oops brings right away the M-IV-1, and let's see how we do. Oops, did you get us a good room? Yeah, okay. So, I got that little robot, or what is that thing?
Move out!
Whirly bird. I guess that's what yeah, I got a drone. I got a drone for free when I got the ARLs. Not the ARL. Not the ARL, but it's, yeah, what is that thing called? It has a drone too. That was free. So, as you'd expect, the Emil is not easily pinnable. But just like that, there you go, there's that APCR. Oops is pounding, I think you're pounding, let's see here, yeah. Oops is pounding my tumor right there. You see 2 shots. Now the one thing you saw there very quickly is I did, when I wiggle, get a hard time paying. That's going to be the key for this thing, is just to wiggle. I actually go back to the biggest drawback I actually see, which is the 7-second. It's almost like basically having a single shot tank with 7 seconds. And then now I've got to wait the full 13. I don't see the benefit of having a 4 clip if it's 7 seconds in between, because then 7 seconds is a really long time. I'm just having a hard time hitting me, which is good. You know, I think one tip would be, you know, the front plate's very strong, so you could use it like this as you're reloading. Again, 7 seconds. So I'd have to check on like what the reload is on like another comparable single shot. I can tell you on the Carnarvon, although this has got less alpha, you know, I'm shooting a lot quicker than that. A little bit of a hard time pinning me there. Are you shooting my hatch? Yeah. And I can't get my gun down any further than that. Do this trick here, but I don't think that's going to do much. The gun is pretty tight, I'll give you that. I don't mind the gun, the aim time dispersion. The gun feels good for a heavy in particular. The gun depression feels a little bit soft. You know, the -8 is not -10. There is a significant difference there. Let's see if we can scrape. So scraping this way may work. The reason I say that is because I had my tomb ring. I'll be honest, you know, because of the fact that this thing is supposed to be auto, but it's got a 7-second inner clip, you know, I'm really not feeling it, I'll be honest. I'm kind of regretting my purchase here. Let's do another one, Oops, and see how I have better luck. Oops shredded me there with the Emil, as you can see, which was, I think, a perfect free comparator. The Emil-1's got a wicked gun, wicked pen, kind of all that stuff. And while Oops is having a hard time selecting a tank, I will show you kind of the final stats with this. Never mind, I won't. All right, let's see if this thing, if I can get some better.
Let's get this show on the road.
There's some cool gas masks there. I guess it's like a gas tank or something. I guess I don't understand the theme yet. Yes, I have a stupid dog. All right, so when it comes to the tank, the mobility, by the way, feels good. It feels nice and mobile. I see Oops slithering up there. Let's see what we can do here. Oops and I are not playing strategically here. We like to shoot each other. So I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive here. Oops brings his golem. Now that, I do know the golem. So, I mean, I guess this is the advantage. You know the golem is going to have a longer reload. Thanks to that lower plate, you can get 2 shots off, back off, you know, and that I guess is an advantage, because your 7-second reload is going to be faster than most heavies reloads. It won't be faster than a lot of others. Again, I'm using this side of the rock because of my tumor. This should help. This should help me, you know, not get shredded there. There we go. By the way, the Skoda T56 is for sale for $16. I would. It was not anymore. That is.
Penetration.
I got all 4 shells in. That is a lot of damage. You can see Oops is down 1,200 damage, just about. And I get to reload. The reload of 13 seconds, while I'm complaining about the 7-second interclip, and I'm going to go finish it now. While I see a 7-second interclip, the fact of the matter is I totally shanked that. The Golem is got great. I think both of those shots were decent shots. The 13-second interclip is not that much, so it's probably kind of the way they do this is, it's a fair.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oops, no. Oops is charging. Now that's the right thing to do. I now have a 13-second interclip, 537. Now he can't clip me out. I don't want to ram, but I do think he's going to have a little bit of a hard time pinning me. More than likely to go for my neck. But I'm going to load up Pramo and.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
I will. Actually, I'm glad I played that second game with this tank. It is better than I expected in some regards. The 4 shots are good. If anybody's actually still watching, I'll run really quickly just through the tanks. Thank you for the tune or the room. Oops. Run through the tank when it's all set up. There's the weight. So aim time 3.9, dispersion 0.33, DPM 2145. The magazine reloads 1376. Shells of 4, obviously. And then there's the pen, 229, 270, and 58 if you're using vents, and you will be using vents. So, it's got good pen, 310, 260, 420 are the alpha, 18.8, and that. And then in terms of the rest of it, view range 267, no concealment, it's a heavy. And top speed 40, 18, average 30, power to weight 16.4. That is why it feels good. And you can see the turn and the haul turn rate. It does move. So overall, I'd say, if you want the tank, buy it. Do not think that you can get this thing in any other way than paying the full amount of gold. Thanks for watching.